Hello everyone, this is Kaushik and welcome to the D Club. And today I bring another interesting SQL problem. And this problem, I myself faced it in an interview. I'm not going to name the company, by the way, because it's going to ruin the integrity and all the stuff, and blah blah blah. But this problem is definitely very interesting and worth learning. So you are given a table and let's call it a user content. Okay, the table name is user content, and there are four columns: content ID, content text, content type, and customer ID. Um, the question is you have to make every letter of every word of every sentence in uppercase, rest of them should be lowercase. So in short, if I break it down, in short, let's pick this thing and let's talk about, yep, introduction to PostgreSQL. So if I have to make it as an Initcap, is going to be introduction to PostgreSQL, like that. Okay, so you understand that every other letter of this word is going to be lowercase except the first letter. Okay, this is what Initcap is called. Okay, now. mm, by this time you have already understood that content type and customer ID, these two columns are like, something are provided there just to confuse you. So first you need to understand the question, okay, and then you need to understand what are the data or what records or what value is given in the question, how you are going to approach it. Remember one thing, there are multiple ways to solve a problem, and always what the interviewer is looking is the optimal solution. Okay, what optimal solution you have come up with, what is your approach and what is your path, and blah blah blah. It's not required all the time that you solve all the edge cases or you solve all the scenarios and all the test cases are passed. But if your approach is good enough, then that is good enough for the interviewer as well. Okay, enough talk. Now let's get into the business. So I have created a DDL and as well as an insert statement. Don't worry, this DDL and as this insert statement, I have punched them and I have uploaded them in our Git portal. So the link of the repo is in the video description. So don't worry about that. Just focus on the solution. So this is our table and let's insert some data into the table. Okay, now let's see. Select star from user content. Okay, fantastic. Okay, now if I have to do this, there is a very cheeky way. Cheeky way is a very shortcut, which is initcap. Okay, initcap content text, and you are done. But when you use initcap, that's a shortcut, and the interviewer will ask you, okay, hey, do not use a shortcut. I want something different rather than initcap. Don't think that don't think that interviewer is a fool. So just think that he's trying to understand what might be another way you are thinking, what could be your way of thinking and all the stuff. So um, by the time interviewer asks you this question, you might realize hey, initcap is the only arrow in my quiver, so I'm really out of shot. So what am I gonna do? Don't worry, I am here. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. So the algorithm, first we need to understand the algorithm. The algorithm is we need to split this sentence into words, and then we need to split as in when I split a sentence into words, and that's going to create an array. And then we need to pivot that array into rows of as rows of a table, or maybe a view, right? So uh, I'm going to create a common table expression. Now there might be some discussion, there might be some questions that, hey Kaushik, why common table expression? Why not a subarray? Sorry, why not a subquery? Because CTE is good when it comes to nested query, and I like CTE compared to because it is more readable compared to a subquery. And there are, by the way, there are some drawbacks of a CTE. As of PostgreSQL version 14 plus, every CTE is materialized. That means the data, what your CTE is going to fetch from the database, is going to save in the memory, and that's going to degrade the performance of your query outcome. So be careful about that, and there is a way of solve this issue, and the way is with CTE as not materialized. Okay, and then we are going to write our CTE. First, what you're going to do, we are going to select those columns which I'm going to need in my final outcome. Content uh, from user content, and I'm going to need content ID, and I'm going to need content text. Okay, and I'm going to need, as I told you already, that I need content. I have to convert this content text, each row into each sentence into array of words, and the function I'm going to use is string to array. This is a function available in PostgreSQL. Oh, by the way, I am really sorry, I forgot to mention I'm using PostgreSQL DB, and you guys might have a different database. Maybe someone maybe have Oracle or MySQL or SQL Server. If you guys face any issue like some of the functions might not be available in your database client, then please do let me know in the comments. I'm happy to help. So I'm going to use a string to array, and I'm going to put blank here because is space every word, every two word is um, separated by a blank space. So I'm going to name it as words, and let's run it. Select start from CTE. Okay, I can see that they are already converted into arrays. Right now, I have to make it into um, columns, into rows or records. So the function I'm going to use is called unNest. Okay, remember these functions because these functions are lifesaver when this kind of collection level questions come up in your interview. Remember unNest, string to array, regex. This kind of functions is going to save your life. Okay, select star from CTE. Yep, if you can see introduction to PostgreSQL, they are pivoted into the columns. Now, into rows. Now, what I'm gonna use, I'm gonna use content ID, and then remember, I have to make all the letters to lowercase except the first letter. So I'm gonna use upper, I'm gonna use left. Again, all these function might not be the same in your database client. There might be some differences. Please do let me know if you are facing any difficulties. Word and word as in I'm referring the word column from my from the CTE. So, and I'm going to use the first letter of words. Okay, and this is the first letter, and I have to concatenate it with the rest of them, right? Because introduction doesn't mean only I. Introducti1 is also there in introduction. So lower, and I'm going to use substring, and then I'm going to use word from to. That means take all the letters in introduction from position 2. Remember, in SQL, the first index is 1. Okay, unlike Python, the first index is 0. Okay, so that's a small difference. Now, this is the formatted words. Now let's look at the formatted words. Okay, I made a mistake. Sorry about that. Yep, we have formatted words, and I can see introduction to PostgreSQL understanding and all the stuff, blah blah blah. Now we have to make it back. I mean, we have to concatenate all these three words into a sentence. Introduction to PostgreSQL. Now, what function we are going to use? We are going to use string aggregation, s string aggregation, okay, and is going to use this and a blank space because I'm going to join all these words by a blank space. Now, string aggregation is an aggregation function, aggregated function. So I'm going to need a group by. So that's why the content ID is there, right? I'm going to use a group by with content ID and let's see. Yep, this is a simple book, common table expression. If you can see, everything is done without using Initcap. Now, the interviewer will ask you, okay, hey, can you do this? Can you also show the original text? Okay, so in that case, I'm going to do a left join. Okay, left join with user content, UC2, yeah, whatever, and that is going to be UC2 dot content ID equal to CTE dot content ID. Now, I'm going to do some aliases here, CTE, and here I'm going to use CTE dot this, and also I have to put original text, which means UC2 dot, uh, that's going to be original text. Okay, so this also will be a part of the group by clause. Okay, now let's do it. Now, let's run it. Yep, if you can see in formatted words and then original text. Now your interviewer says, ki, hey, there are some sentences I can see there is a single letter in a word. I mean, we are considering it as a word. Like this is a book. A is considered as a word. Okay, so I don't like it. Okay, it's because this is a book. Ideally, it should be lowercase. Okay, how to do that? Now, in that case, we have to introduce a case when inside string aggregation, right? We have to introduce a case when inside string aggregation. What could be it? It could be like case when length of word is 1, then lowercase of lower of word. Okay, else I'm going to use this, right, the old one. Now it's going to be a formatted word. Now let's run it. Oh, I made a mistake. Where string? Oh, I made a mistake. Mistake is I forget the comma. Words. Okay. Where I made a mistake. Okay. Now we're good. So this is a simple book. If you can see, the A is not getting converted into uppercase. Now, still, it doesn't look good to the interviewer, and the interviewer says, ki, "Hey, hey, hey. Now how about every letter of the sentence, the first letter of every sentence is going to be uppercase, and that's it. Okay, the rest of them should not be uppercase, right? The rest of them should be like lowercase. So mm, how we are going to do it? Okay." That's pretty much simple. I mean, simple as in um, like we have to do sentence wise in that case. So we have to take this, okay, and we I mean, we don't need to take this. We can do like this, select from user content, okay, and we have to take like content ID, and then we have to take like upper, then left, then content text, comma 1, then we have to join like lower substring content text from 2. That should be like, that should be formatted text. Okay. Okay, syntax error substring from 2. Oh, my bad. My bad. Yup. So we can see only the first letter of each sentence is going to be splitted, is going to be uppercase, and rest of them is going to be lowercase. So I hope you guys like this content and you guys like this question. This type of questions are tricky, and this type of question, I wouldn't say tricky. I would say like this type of questions are a little bit of rely on your knowledge bank of SQL functions. How many SQL functions do you know, and what are those, and how do you know their applications or not? Um, so if you are enjoying my videos, if you are enjoying all these contents, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to, in my next video, I'll come up with another similar type of interesting SQL questions. And till then, stay tuned. Bye bye.